Hi everybody, so let's talk about how to use one of these, a stability ball. We have them here in Glenville, and then we also, if we have them at home, is something that we can do at home. Especially for the ladies at Glenville, you can always grab these if we're doing an exercise that is like if you don't or cannot go on the ground that day because something hurts or you're injured or something like that, you can always use one of these stability balls to kind of help out. And I'm always open to that option of you using them in class if you need to as an alternate exercise. For my ladies in Latham, sorry. Maybe you have one of these at home and can use it for home. So I'm just gonna kind of go and start from the bottom up. So there's a few different exercises you can do. So if we're ever working, let's say hamstring, what you would do for that is you would do a rollout. So you'd be on the ground, your feet would dig into this ball, you're gonna straighten your knees, lay down, squeeze your glutes, and keep them up. You roll the ball in towards your butt and come back. So this is something that's gonna work your hamstrings. So say we're doing like a deadlift, and you are like, oh, nope, can't do that, the hinge is too much. Or we're doing like a lunge, and you're like, nope, can't do it by knee, then this would be a good one to do. You can also do it single-legged. That one's a bit harder. You definitely will feel that one in your hamstrings. Say we're doing something that's quad-based. You would then take this ball to a wall. I'm just gonna use the bag here and see how it goes. And then you press into the wall and you would roll down and back up. So that way you're getting more of a quad focused squat. So say you're having issues getting to depth on your squat, this is gonna be a really good one. If you're having issues where you're really toes forward, instead you just wanna work on that squat form. This is what you would do in order to focus it on the quad instead of on the glute or on your hamstring. So again, hamstrings is gonna be the rolling, quads is gonna be that quad focused squat. Now glute, you can do a glute bridge like I just showed you to get into your hamstring curls, but you can also do another glute exercise that's also gonna be a lower back strengthening. So say if you have issues with Supermans, especially because I know a lot of us have shoulder issues, this is what you can do instead. So this ball is gonna go directly between your legs. And then from there, you're gonna squeeze it with your calves. The rest of you is gonna kind of lay down on the ground. Make sure you are facing this way. I'm just gonna face this way so you can hear me talk. I'm gonna squeeze my glutes, and I'm gonna drive up and off the ground, like this. And I'm keeping my upper body relaxed, but that's gonna work on the glute. It's gonna work on the inner outer thigh, and it's gonna work on that low back as an option for you for Supermans. Now, rolling forward with the ball, you can also do these for a back extension if Supermans are too much. Where you're rolled on the ball, you want to make sure you don't have this arch here. You are going to roll in, squeezing the glutes. I like to tuck my toes to keep the stability. I'm rounding around, and I'm going to squeeze and come up. Now, if that feels weird, you can roll forward a bit more, roll down on that ball, squeeze and come up. As long as you're not having this arch here, then you're fine. So for me, I tend to have more of an arch, so I'm just gonna focus. It doesn't have to be a very large motion, but I'm focusing on that upper mid part of my back, breathing out as I come up. Again, another way to do a Superman is using the ball that way. Now say you wanna elevate your push-up, make it harder. You wanna make a plank harder, you wanna do some core movements. I am fine with you using this to challenge yourself, especially with core movements. Fire something on there and you're like, oh man, you always do a plank and it's really easy for me. This is a way to kind of elevate that and add in some instability to it. So a couple of different core options that you can use. I love the ball transfer. So it's where you have the ball above your head, you bring it up and back down. Another option is say we're doing a dead thumb, which I love to do all the time. You're going opposite arm, opposite leg. Oh, that is not right. There we go. Opposite arm, opposite leg, coming back. And you're alternating the side, making sure to keep the stability there by using that ball. Okay. Another option is an unstable plank. You can either do this with your hands, which is very hard because you kind of have to squeeze in. So you either have the instability in your shoulders, you can also use this as like a stir the pot where you're going like a little bit circular. You can also do this on your knees if that's too much, or you can do it in a low plank. This is gonna be a little bit more stable than on your hands because you have more of your body on the ball. And again, you can also go in a circular motion either way to get a little bit of shoulder instability and to kind of work on all those little muscles in the shoulders. That one's stir the pot, or you can put your feet on it. So this is how I like to get on them. You can have an unstable foot. You can bring it into a knee drive. So say I'm out of time, it's too easy for you. You can do these instead. You can make it into a decline push-up where you have a lot farther to go versus a regular push-up. So it's really going to work through all of the range of motion on there because you have a lot farther to go versus not. So that's a way to kind of elevate your upper body. Now you can also sit on this ball. Actually, we'll sit kind of to the side so you can see what I'm doing. Good one here to work on hip flexor strength is marching. I've done glute bridge marching before. We've done standing overhead marching before. This is a good one to just really isolate and focus where you don't really have to focus on too many other things. It's really just squeezing the glutes, squeezing the core, and making sure that we're making that hip flexor move our leg for us. If you want less stability, take your hands off, okay? Any upper body exercise, anything we do lying down. So bicep curl, tricep extension, you could do a chest press, you could do a dumbbell pull over, skull crusher. All of those things besides the bicep curl, which I'll show you in an alternate, can be done laying down. So say this is one where, let me actually just roll back. There we go. All right, so say that you just have an issue with getting up and off the ground. This would be one so you could still do your curls, your presses, your flies, you know, you could do a skull crusher here, you could do a pull over here. So that's gonna hit your chest, your triangle, your shoulder. If you want some more concentrated bicep curls, you can bring them in front and curl down. I personally like to sit a little bit more, but you can hinge over as long as you're not arching the back. As long as you're keeping that slit tuck, you can do that. You can also go one at a time for that concentrated curl. Last one I'm going to show you is just really, really good for pelvic floor health. If your glutes are inactive, if we're quad dominant, a good one to do is, so I'm going to roll back because now I'm not in the video. Woo, these balls. All right. Here we go. Just really having outtakes, bloopers reel here. So my feet are right under my knees right now. My back is highly arched. What I'm going to do is take it off the ball and I'm just going to pelvic tuck and come back. Pelvic tuck and come back. So I'm not doing a full bridge. I am relaxing on the ball, letting my back and my spine curve around it, and then I am tucking and coming back down. Almost like an ice cream scoop is another one that's gonna focus on that hip motion. So those are just some things that you can do with the stability ball. There's plenty more than what I showed you, but those are just kind of the basic moves of what you can do kind of throughout the body to work it as an alternate to any exercise, at least that I do in class, as well as if you have a stability ball at home and you're like, I never use it, I don't know how to use it. Now you have a bunch of different things that you can try with it, and that is the stability ball workshop.